The U.S. congressmen Poe and Gene Green have recently introduced a bipartisan resolution reaffirming the United States support for the country of Georgia. However, in the resolution, congressmen mainly focus on the violations revealed in the country in recent years. In a joint statement, Congressmen Poe and Gene Green emphasized that American companies complain about the business environment, bureaucratic violations, and the signs of corruption in some governmental branches. The small part of the document is also devoted to the topic of a close cooperation between the United States and Georgia. In recent years, American companies have expressed increasing concern regarding the business environment in Georgia, pointing to bureaucratic obfuscation and alleging lingering corruption in some corners of the Georgian government. As a true friend of Georgia, it falls on my shoulder not only to praise Tbilisi's progress, but also to point out when more work needs to be done to prevent Georgia's backsliding along its democratic trajectory. Georgian politicians respond to the resolution introduced by the United States congressmen. Representatives of the opposition parties consider that the main messages in the resolution are a warning signal. The deputy chairperson of the Parliament of Georgia, Irma Inashvili, strongly believes that the government must pay particular attention to the signal. This statement of the U.S. congressman is a very important signal for the Georgian government, since in the statement they directly say that bureaucracy here hinders free business development and that the level of corruption has significantly increased. This is a red card, a serious warning to the government. Unfortunately, business in Georgia really is not free. We obviously see many tenders that the high officials' interests are revealed. We see elections where almost 100% of the business sector financed just one, the ruling party. Consequently, the statement indicates that in the United States Congress, they really see the existing problems in Georgia, and this must be a signal specifically for the Prime Minister, Georgi Kvirikashvili, and for the government of Georgia. This is the reason why we demand the resignation of Kvirikashvili's government. This all can lead to very serious consequences. I'm openly telling you that despite of the seemingly friendly tone, we know what the warning statement of the United States about the existing corruption does mean. As a rule, such warnings lead to sanctions. Therefore, this is a very serious and quite dangerous sign. Corruption risks have definitely increased in the country. It's a fact. Political analysts share the U.S. congressman's position on bureaucracy, and business analysts speak about the ruling parties and the Prime Minister's disorganization and call on the government to respond effectively. This is certainly a great concern, and of course this problem must become a real headache for the government. Putting an end to pressure on businesses and business terrorism, which were taking place during the national movement's rule, should have become that radical line which would distinguish the current government from the previous one. However, if such facts are still taking place and continue to happen, especially towards the foreign businessmen in Georgia, those who made investments, this must definitely be a kind of alarm call for this government. Currently, the resolution introduced by the U.S. congressman is in the process of reviewing. The United States supports Georgia's democratic development, and this is the reason why the U.S. side points out the problems existing in the business sector to the government of Georgia, since bureaucracy and corruption are a significant barrier for the free development of businesses in the country.